Hi, welcome to the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and this is another tip of the day we can blame on Heath. Not really. Although he and I did have a discussion not too long ago about magnets, okay? Uncoupling magnets and delayed versus non-delayed. He was working on his time saver remote operated switching puzzle, and I had asked whether he used neodymium magnets, and he asked me if they were delayed or not. And I had to stop and think about that. The last tip of the day where I talked about weights and wheel sets and etc. It's all about physics, and a magnet's a magnet. We have different shapes, different sizes, and different strengths. But to my knowledge, we only have that difference in magnets. So, KD has delayed and non-delayed magnets. And I got to think about that. I'm going, well, what's the difference? And so I started looking at that. And I was having issues with my KD magnets. They were hit and miss at best. I had some over the track magnets and some under the rail magnets. And they work. But for magnets and hands-free uncoupling, you got to have everything working perfectly. Not only the magnets, the position of the magnets, but also all your trip pins, coupler heights, and centering mechanism springs on the couplers, etc. They all have to be perfect for it to work right. But I had bought, again, a long time ago, almost a year ago, I had bought some neodymium magnets, these bar magnets, because they're so much more powerful. So I attempted to use one of these, and I've gone through this story before, on top of the ties, okay? And what I found was, although strong, they weren't wide enough to pull the trip pins far enough apart, okay? So I kind of gave up on them until I saw Larry Puckett, the DCC guy, here 2-3 months ago, used small neodymium magnets underneath each rail, and they worked great. So I said, So I got out my neodymium magnets and put two side by side like that underneath the rails, and it worked. All right, and it worked great. I was surprised how well it worked. Much better than the KD magnets. I've got, like I said, I've got some of these. I think these are delayed. KD markets these as delayed above the tie magnets. Which are 321s, I think. And the non-delayed version above the above the ties is 312. And if you look at them, at the difference, they don't look like there's much difference. But the 312 non-delays are just a tad thinner. Okay, not as wide across this way. I'm not talking about that way. I'm talking about that way. All right. So I went, So, magnet is a magnet is a magnet, except for strength, shape, and size. Okay, And so the delayed magnets are a little bit wider than the non-delayed. So that got me to thinking. All right. And so I've got a couple of KD number 5 couplers. And I'm going to cut these trip pins off and show you the difference of the positioning of these. And that's what the actual result is. The magnets result in a different position of the KD coupler, a delayed position and a non-delayed position. And I can accomplish both of those with these magnets. These magnets are not delayed or non-delayed. They're not marketed that way. Why? Because they're simply magnets. These are simply magnets. Okay? Those are the delayed ones. The non-delayed are simply magnets. The difference being intensity and or shape. Okay? That's what the difference is. The result for the KD couplers is either a delayed position or a non-delayed position. Okay? And I'll cut those off and I'll show you the difference, and then I'll show you a video of 2 boxcars going across 2 neodymiums put together like this. That results in a non-delayed position of the couplers, and using the 2 of these in spread apart, which results in the couplers being in a delayed position. Okay? And what that means. One thing I will say, Thomas at Splitrock Mining Company did an excellent video on delayed versus non-delayed positionings and on his layout, and why there's he uses the different types, because depending on how you want to run your railroad, you may prefer in one area a delayed position and another area a non-delayed position. And again, I'll show you that in a second. Stay tuned. Okay, so I didn't have to cut the trip pins off. It's better that I didn't anyway. So here's a picture of number 5 couplers in the non-delayed and delayed positioning. Okay, when it's non-delayed, all right, the coupler opens up just enough to allow for uncoupling. Okay, and when they go to recouple, push off the magnet, they close down upon one another, and it's coupled. Okay, that's the one on the left. Now, the delayed magnet throws the trip pins further out and opens the coupler head further, so that when the train backs up further into that, it pushes the uncoupled car further, and when you're off the magnet, it does not allow it to recouple. All right? So it allows you to uncouple and then push a car back further without becoming recoupled. Non-delayed allows it to recouple, okay, as you push off the magnet. Delayed does not allow it to recouple as you push off the magnet. Okay, so let's watch a video of that. Okay, so here's 2 neodymium batteries, not batteries, I always want to say that, neodymium magnets underneath the rails against each other. Okay, so what this will accomplish is the non-delayed uncoupling. So as I push cars back onto the magnet, all right, it is uncoupled. And I push back further, guess what? It's coupled. All right, hands free. Okay. So that is the non-delayed methodology, or coupler positioning. Magnets are the same. Okay. There's nothing special about these magnets, delayed or non-delayed. It's simply how I installed them. Okay, so now you can see two identical neodymium magnets, but instead of being installed right next to each other, they are separated. Okay? Installing them in this fashion will give me the delayed uncoupling action. So let's take a look. All right. See how it did not recouple? That's because when the magnets are installed in this fashion, it throws the trip pins further out and thus opens up the knuckle coupler such that it allows it to not recouple until you've gone off of the magnet and back into the car. Okay? So that's the difference between the coupler position being in a delayed versus non-delayed position. It's not the magnets that do it per se. These are identical magnets, just installed in a different fashion. And the neodymiums, by the way, are a third of the price and a heck of a lot stronger. There you have it. All right. Delayed versus non-delayed. It's not the magnets. Okay. Magnets per se. Magnets only vary in shape, size, and strength. Okay. I've shown how you can use neodymium magnets identical, and depending on how you install them together or separate, changes the positioning of the uncoupling positioning of the KD couplers, all right, into the delayed or non-delayed positions. Another great video watch is Thomas at Splitrock Mining Company. He does an excellent video showing his how he's installed KD magnets and how he utilizes them in operations, the differences. Okay. So with that, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and y'all have a great day. Bye now.